What is the darkness? A necessary symmetry to the traveler and a cosmic balance. An invading armada, an alien force of incredible but tangible power. A force with both physical and moral presence, an actualization of evil. A corruption that emerged from within and poisoned the Golden Age. What if the darkness is ourselves? Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the first post-launch Destiny lore series. I'm your host, Scout, and in this Destiny lore series, we'll try to explain and understand what the darkness is. Many have theories, but no one has definite proof. Some think the darkness is an amalgamation of all the alien races combined together, but that doesn't make too much sense, because you often see them fighting each other. Some think the darkness is something else, far, far out there, and we've never seen it, just waiting and biding its time to come for us. Many different clans and sects in the last city on Earth have their own ideas of what the darkness is, and this knowledge is supposedly passed down from their ancestors. These theories include a corruption that emerged from within and poisoned the Golden Age, a force with both physical and moral presence, an actualization of evil, an invading armada, an alien force of incredible but tangible power, a necessary symmetry to the traveler in a cosmic balance, a technologically sophisticated force, perhaps a post-singularity intelligence, something the traveler triggered itself, the collapse, a coming power the traveler knew about and used us as a proxy army. But what if the darkness is in ourselves? The first two best candidates to look at for being the darkness, or at least part of the darkness, if not servants to it, are the Vex and the Hive. I believe we can completely rule out the Vex as being the darkness for a couple of reasons. Inside the Black Garden, they worship the dark heart that has corrupted the garden. Why would a race so complex worship something? The only reason to worship something is because they have no understanding of it. How could the Vex have no understanding of the dark art inside the Black Garden? It is also known that the Vex came to the Black Garden at some point in bronze ships. They are the Gardeners now. But before the Vex, there was another Gardener, a Warmind named the Gardener. Rasputin knew of her. She was strong, and she was still defeated by the darkness, and the Black Garden was corrupted by the dark heart. So if not the Vex, what about the Hive? And why fight over the Black Garden? What is it for? As for the Hive, it is stated many times through the game that their power they wield is not their own, and it comes from another source. When you destroy the Shrine of Oryx, Dinklebot tells you it is communicating with something else, far, far away. When they are draining the light from the piece of the Traveler, they are sending the energy somewhere else, perhaps to more Hive. Their ships do seem to come through some kind of slip space rupture, and their ships themselves are tombs, holding more dead inside. The Hive themselves seem to be completely composed of dead species, reusing old parts, rebirthing them, as if they are running out of resources and running out of time. So the Vex have achieved time travel, and the Hive reuse and repurpose everything they can. Why?
This next part is a little bit confusing, convoluted, and mostly based on theories, so try and stick with me here.
The Black Garden was created from tens, if not hundreds, of planets that orbited 7 stars. These stars are now dead, the planets gone, their resources, their elements, down to the last atom, were all focused into creating something. That something is the Black Garden. The Black Garden is a place of life, a place of creation. Why was it created, and who created it? The answer is actually quite simple. We did. We did it for the conservation of energy and matter. We had reached our golden age, our technological prowess booms in the solar system. We are suddenly able to conquer multiple planets far out into our own solar system. It's no longer a 14-month trip to Mars, it's 14 minutes. And we weren't done with our solar system, no, we wanted more. So with the help of the Traveler, we created the Black Garden, the giver of life, and the taker. In order to give such wonderful amounts of life across an entire solar system, you must also take the conservation of mass and energy. You can take a mass and convert it into energy, then back to a mass, and then back to energy. And no matter how many times you do it, it will always be the same amount of mass and the same amount of energy. You cannot create mass or energy. One must come from another, and there is a finite amount of this in the universe. Now, what proof is there to say that we created the Black Garden? Not a lot, but there is supporting evidence that it certainly existed during the Golden Age. In the Grimoire card, Rasputin talks about, quote, it. I'm assuming he means the darkness, and it destroying the gardener who was stronger than him. I think it's pretty safe to assume the gardener was another war mine recreated for the sole purpose of defending the Black Garden. And it makes sense that the gardener was so powerful. She was defending humanity's tool of creation. If you think about how powerful Rasputin was, he could assume defenses of the entire solar system, and seems to have some kind of influence, if not a connection, with the Traveler at least. War minds are massively powerful sentient AI made to coordinate and control things on a scale we couldn't imagine. This is shown in the Grimoire card, where Rasputin seems to be recording an extraterrestrial solar event entering their solar system. He even simulates the event, which scattered neutrino particles and distorted gravitational fields. He then tried to replicate it, but the event was too complex for him to even do that. At this point, he assumes defenses of the solar system, and coordinates with the Traveler, also known here as Isis. Isis is an ancient Egyptian god of life, which I believe is, again, referencing to the Traveler, or possibly the Black Garden itself. Now, back to the subject of the Black Garden. All this energy and mass to create the Black Garden had to come from somewhere else. And it did, in fact, come from another solar system. A solar system that was possibly occupied. The Grimoire card Beyond seems to reference a place that a ghost knows of. One hot blue sun, say, and the other 2. 5? I like 7 better. What I'm recalling is a giant star with a family of 6 smaller suns, and you could spend days and nights counting the planets circling those suns. Except there are no planets, not anymore. The powers in charge have carved up all the worlds, and maybe a brown dwarf or 2 for good measure. With that rubble, they fashioned a topological creative enclosure, a twisting of space and time sealed behind doors that admit only those who know the magic words. The bones of 100 planets have been cut smooth and laid out like a floor, a polished and lovely floor, catching the fierce glory of 7 suns, for light, for food, for beauty, and nothing escapes, not heat, not gravity, not even the faintest proud sound. It could be anywhere. It can live in the cold between galaxies, or the folds up inside matter, near enough to touch right now. While part of this card, I believe, references us creating the Black Garden, another part of this card, I think, references another Black Garden that existed, and another civilization that uses something similar to a Black Garden. That's something we're going to have to get to in another video, though. So if we destroyed the entire solar system to create the Black Garden, does this mean that using the Traveler we possibly destroyed the homes of the Fallen, the Hive, and the Cabal, all to create a Black Garden? What about the Vex? In the Ghost Fragment Darkness, Rasputin essentially is recording something entering our solar system, something that has the ability to create gravitational distortions and sterile neutrinos. Funny that it would create sterile neutrinos, because in today's theoretical physics, we believe sterile neutrinos might be part of the answer to antimatter. That is what is coming for the Traveler. Yin and yang, life and death, matter and antimatter. The Traveler, the Wanderer. But wait, there's one piece of damning evidence that ruins this theory and many others. I'll play it again with boosted audio. Headphone users beware. And one last time. Yes, I believe that Dreg is saying it's the darkness. How can that be possible? Rasputin recorded events and even witnessed the darkness in some occasions entering the garden, destroying the gardener. There is obviously something else out there that we consider the darkness, but the Fallen consider us the darkness. Is it possible they think we are the darkness because we are related to the Traveler and we might have destroyed all of their worlds, most of their civilizations, and took it all for ourselves? Perhaps they have their own version of the Traveler, the Wanderer. and its impact on our solar system is what we see as the darkness, while the traveler's impact on their solar system is what they see as the darkness. So if we take this theory and run with it, we have two massive celestial beings, each cultivating life, stealing resources from other parts of the universe, and in doing so, pitting galactic civilizations against each other. The Grimoire card Darkness 3. Imagine 3 great nations under 3 great queens. The first queen writes a book of law and her rule is just. The second queen builds a high tower and her people climb it to see the stars. The third queen raises an army and conquers everything. The future belongs to one of these queens. Her rule is harshest and her people are unhappy, but she rules. And one other excerpt from this card. Of course, it might be that there was another country with other queens, and in this country they sat down together and made one law and one tower and one army to guard their borders. This is the dream of small minds, a gentle place ringed with spears. Let's assume each queen is a force within the universe. Our solar system, the solar system we destroyed, and a third player, entropy. There's a theory that the universe is moving towards a big freeze. The farther we move away from other objects in the universe, the colder everything gets. The less energy can be transferred. What energy is there is converted into mass, then cools down, and everything dies. Let's assume the Wanderer exists as the counterpart to the Traveler. Both of these celestial forces trying to balance the universe. The Traveler trying to concentrate energy to stop the inevitable freeze. The Wanderer realizing it's impossible to do so and scattering matter back out into its proper place. The anger from the Wanderer comes from the anger of the civilizations the Traveler destroyed in an attempt to stop this. The conservation of energy and mass has its repercussions. But what about this other country with 3 other queens, the one that bands together trying to stop it all? Well, let's take it metaphorically in this situation. Perhaps this other country is another universe, following the multiverse theory. I think this other country, this other universe, comes into play more than we know, but that is for another video. That's it for this Destiny lore series. There's obviously a lot I didn't go over in this video, and there's a very good reason for that. A lot more happened in the Golden Age and during the collapse than just the antimatter version of the Traveler coming, but that's far too much to cover in one video and will take up way too much time. We'll be sitting here for 30-40 minutes. So you can certainly expect more from me in the future. Don't forget to subscribe, guys. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. We have a Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook. All of that's in the description below for you guys. Don't forget to check out our Day 0 Advanced Warfare stream. Details will be on the Twitter, of course. And I will see you guys Starside.